I've been an emergency operator for 12 years, and for 7 of them, I've worked the graveyard shift. After a while, a job like this changes you. The endless cycle of shouting, the raw panic, the absolute worst moments of people's lives. It all just has to turn into background noise. It's a survival mechanism. If you let it all in, it breaks you. Our county is usually pretty quiet. After 10 at night, it's mostly retirees settled in for the evening. Empty roads stretching into the darkness. And maybe the occasional late-night disturbance that's more noise than anything else. I was burned out. I mean, deeply, profoundly tired in a way that sleep just doesn't fix anymore. The calls had stopped feeling real. They were just voices to process, problems to route to the right department. My boss, a seasoned veteran named Miller, had only given me one unbreakable rule when I started on nights. If a call comes in from the old house on the county line, you let it ring. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. It sounded like a hazing ritual, an old-timer's joke. I never took it seriously. Until last night. Last night, I answered. The first time it happened was a few months back. The job had worn me down to a nub. I was just going through the motions. That's probably why the call stood out so much. It came in at exactly 2:47 a.m. On a Tuesday, I remember looking at the clock. The line on my screen didn't display an address. No GPS coordinates, no registered location. All it said was unregistered VoIP. It was rare, but not impossible. People use burner apps, spoofed numbers. I picked up, my voice automated from habit. Emergency line. What is your situation? At first, there was only static. It was thick and muffled, like the sound was struggling to get through from underwater. Then, through the crackle, I heard a whisper. Hello? It was a child's voice. A young boy, soft and incredibly careful, like he was trying not to be heard. I can hear you, I said, leaning closer to my mic. What's going on? Are you safe? The static seemed to pulse, crackling louder in my ear. He's back, the boy whispered, his voice trembling. The man with the face covering. A cold dread, something I hadn't felt in years. Was it over me? This didn't sound like a prank. Where are you? I asked, my fingers already flying across the keyboard, trying to trace the untraceable call. I need a location so I can send help. Hurting my mom, the boy said, his voice breaking with a sob he was trying to suppress. My dad's on the floor. He won't wake up. My heart hammered against my ribs. I tried to trace the call again. The system returned nothing. No location, no subscriber, no digital footprint. It was a ghost. Please, I said, forcing my voice to stay calm and steady, like they train you to. I need you to tell me where you are. Just a street name, a landmark, anything. The old house, the boy whispered, his voice barely audible, at the end of the road. And then, just like that, the line went dead. Static, and then silence. There's an old house exactly like that. It sits just past the western edge of the county, right on the line. A dilapidated, boarded-up Victorian at the end of a long, unpaved dirt road. It's a local legend, the kind of place teenagers dare each other to visit. It's been empty for decades. I didn't hesitate. I dispatched 2 patrol cars and an ambulance. Standard procedure for a potential home invasion with injuries. I sat there, staring at the silent console, waiting. 15 agonizing minutes later, one of the officers radioed back. His voice was flat. Dispatch, we're at the location. Property is secure. It's boarded up tight. No lights, no sounds, no sign. And jeunesse been here in years. I logged the call as unfounded. A cruel prank. I told myself that over and over. Kids with a VoIP app and a local ghost story. It happens. But a week later, same day, Tuesday, same exact time, 2:47 a.m. the line lit up again. Unregistered VoIP. My hand hovered over the button. Miller's rule echoed in my head. Let it ring. But the memory of that child's terror, I couldn't. I answered. He's inside, the boy whispered. No preamble this time. I can hear his footsteps on the stairs. This time, beneath the oppressive static, I could hear something else. Faintly, in the background, a woman was shouting, pleading. I couldn't make out the words, but the terror in her voice was unmistakable. I'm sending help right now, I said, my voice urgent. They're on their way. Can you stay hidden? Where are you? Closet? The boy whispered. He's coming upstairs. He's opening the doors. The line cut out. I sent 2 units again, telling them it was a likely repeat of the previous week's prank call, but to exercise caution. They forced entry this time. The result was the same. The house was a tomb. Dust lay thick on every surface, undisturbed. No footprints, no signs of struggle, no people. My supervisor, Miller, called me into his office the next day. He told me to drop it. He called it a system glitch, a weird digital echo. He ordered me, in no uncertain terms, not to waste any more county resources on it. But the calls didn't stop. Every single Tuesday, always at 2:47 a.m., and each one was worse than the last. The narrative was progressing in horrifying, fragmented pieces. She stopped shouting a while ago. There's a mess everywhere. It's all over the floor. He's opening the doors. One by one, I can hear him in the hallway. I became obsessed. During my off hours, I spent my time at the county archives, digging through records, old deeds, microfilm of archived newspapers. I had to know, and that's when I found it. An article from 30 years ago. A family had been attacked in that house. A home invasion gone horribly wrong. 2 adults, 1 child, and a second child, a young boy, listed as missing, presumably abducted. The article said he'd last been seen hiding in an upstairs closet. The suspect was described as a tall, unidentified figure wearing a pale, blank face covering. My blood ran cold. I printed everything. The articles, the property deeds, the police reports. I slammed it all down on Miller's desk. It's real, I said. It happened. This isn't a glitch. He just looked at the papers. 10 up at me. He didn't look surprised. He looked tired, defeated. He finally told me about the operator I had replaced on the night shift, a guy named David. He told me how David started getting the same calls, how he became obsessed, just like me, how he ignored the warnings, the orders to leave it alone, and how one night David drove out to the house himself. He was never seen again. His car was found parked on the dirt road, but he was gone. That's why the rule exists, Miller said, his voice low. It's not a joke. That house, that call, it's a trap. If that line rings, you don't answer it. Ever. Last night, it rang again. 2:47 a.m. on the dot. Unregistered VoIP. I stared at the blinking light. Let it ring. Just let it go to the automated system. Primera, trie, de. I swear I tried. But I couldn't. I thought about the boy. I thought about David. I had to do something the moment I answered. The boy's voice wasn't a whisper. It was a full-throated, blood-curdling scream. He's got me. He found the closet. Please, don't let him take me. Adrenaline shot through me. I went to dispatch help, my hands shaking. But then I stopped. I froze. This already happened. It happened 30 years ago. Sending police would do nothing. It was a recording. An echo. I'm sorry, I whispered into the headset, my own voice breaking. I'm so sorry. The screaming stopped instantly. The silence that followed was more terrifying than any noise. Then another voice came through the static. It wasn't the boy. It was a man. His whisper was ragged, desperate. He's here, the voice whispered. He can see you. Through the phone. I recognized it. I'd listened to old training tapes. It was David, the operator who disappeared. Please, he begged. his voice cracking with a despair that felt ancient. "You have to get me out of here. He won't let me go." And that's when the whole awful truth crashed down on me. The calls weren't coming from the house. They weren't coming through a wire or a signal. The house was just the anchor. The calls were coming through me, through every operator who was broken enough, tired enough, to listen. I hadn't answered a call from a haunted house. I had become the haunted house. I'm the new ghost on the line. And now I'm just waiting for my replacement to answer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what comes next.